Hey guys, welcome to Quinn's Tree Farm. Coming to you straight through YouTube right from Cornville, Maine. Today we are going to talk about a new system for showcasing our pre-cut trees. Now if you remember last year we had a little bit of trouble. I was in a rush and I was trying to create a pin system like the superbly engineered drill systems that they have, and that didn't work very well and I shed it and ended up just leaning trees against the building and some fence posts and things like that. And I got through, but it really wasn't a great way to display our trees. And if we're going to get busier than the 100 trees that we sold pre-cuts last year, 50, actually we only sold 50, but we got to come up with something better. So, in the process of buying this whole tree farm, there is a lot of stuff that we have that was left over. There's no two ways about it. The place was kind of left a mess, and that happens, and that's all right. But when we bought it, one of the points that I made was don't clean it. We will take care of cleaning it up. And the reason why is because I figured that anybody who was going to clean up a Christmas tree farm that didn't know what was valuable at that Christmas tree farm would probably throw away things that were pretty good. So in doing that, I've come up with a couple of finds. And one of the finds that we had were a bunch of these tree holders. So these go over 2x4s, and then the tree stem goes there, tree trunk goes there, and then they can stand up. I plan to get a tree driller and do the drill system. We have it all the material is here except the drill stand is missing parts, and I just haven't had time to get that fixed up. So 2022 Quinn's Tree Farm will be drilling Christmas trees. In 2022, Quinn's Tree Farm will be drilling Christmas trees and using the pin stands to display our trees, but in 2021 we're gonna go with these. So we got to make a couple of stands. I got one done. I'll show it to you before we're done. We'll build up some stands and show you how they go. Pretty easy design. I just made up in my head. It's all it is a long coat rack that we can hang these off. So stick around and we'll get to work. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut these 2x4s down to 6 feet. Have no fear, I got 8 footers, and we're going to use the remaining 2 feet, the little leggies, to keep the stand up. So 72 inches is 6 feet. Make my little mark. Over here, make my little mark. I didn't go over to the shop, so I don't have my chop saw. I'll be doing it the old-fashioned way with my circular saw. And then I got my worm drive all set up. Now the worm drive, so talking about this worm drive, I like it a lot. I bought it, I must have had it for 6 or 8 years now, and I love it. It's a little bit different than a Sidewinder. The main difference is the blade is on the left as opposed to a Sidewinder on the right, and it's heavier, and I find that you end up pushing. So on plywood and stuff, the weight pushes it through, whereas a Sidewinder is a little bit lighter. Now, allegedly, the story is that these are really popular on the West Coast, where Sidewinders are popular over here on the East Coast. I don't know. Long story short, I would always recommend a worm drive saw over a Sidewinder. Well, that was easy. Alright, so I want to do, I want to have my 3.5, my 2x4s on center. So I'm going to come over to 10 1/4. Because that's 1 3/4 inches from 12, and make my mark, and those are going to be on that side. The reason why it's 1 3/4 inches is because 2 3/4 inches make 1 3.5. And I can take my speed square, mark them up, and then over here I take my speed square and make my mark over there at 3.5. See that? See, this speed square is not just a straight edge, right? You got all kinds of things here. You could do a whole class on speed squares, and I know that there's got to be some speed square classes on the YouTube because there's everything on the YouTube. But I'm gonna mark 3.5 over there, and I can come over. I can make my line. Now I know that if I put my 2x in there, it's gonna be good. Step 2, we got to screw this together. So basically I'm putting my 3.5 2x4, because you know, that makes sense. 1.5 by 3.5 is a mouthful though, so 2x4s in the center. I'm going to use these Grip Right 3-inch wood screws with a T25 Torx bit. Now I want to talk to you about this, and I learned this on Woodworking for Mere Mortals. Steve Ramsey, he's a pretty cool dude. And it's a double-edged sword for me. But if you notice, the screws, the threads end about halfway up the screw, and this is all smooth. What he ended up teaching was that by doing that, the threads actually pull the boards together, whereas if it's threaded all the way to the top like a regular sheetrock screw, they don't pull together. They'll bind together, but the pressure, it's not actually gripping them together. By having that free, it's actually pulling these screws together. Woodworking for Mere Mortals. Pretty cool woodworking channel, check it out. So, got my DeWalt impact driver, and we're just gonna put some screws in here. Now, one of the things I do not like, and one of the things that I always swear about with these screws, is if you get the threaded portion too deep, you're not able to unscrew it because it will strip out, and I don't like that part about these, but otherwise they're good. So just make sure not to go too deep. One of the problems I'm facing is these just get God, I can't speak today. These get really weeble wobbly when you're trying to put on the 2x4 to go across the cross piece. So what I'm doing is I'm coming down a foot from the top. So we cut these at 6 foot, so I'm coming down to 5 feet. Why 5 feet? Because most of my trees are going to be higher than 5 feet, and I want to get that stand to bite on a little bit of the tree trunk itself. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take my junkers, my little clunker pieces, and I'm just going to run a couple screws in there. These are going to come right off. So I built these, when you see them with the leg, little foot things on the inside. Hopefully that will keep people from tripping over them. Probably not. That reminds me, I gotta call the insurance company this week so we can get our insurance for the retail lot, because we don't want to lose all of our earnings on a lawsuit where somebody tripped it up. Thank you for reminding me about that. So I'm going to start these screws over here. It just makes it easier trying to hold everything up and prop everything up. I can just go in and drive these right in when it's ready and set. That will hold that up. I'm going right to the outside edge with the stand. And then if they don't hold up, I'm going to make gusset ties to bring them together. I'm going to screw, for starters, we're going to screw one screw in on each side. Make sure that it's flush. And then we'll come over here and do unscrew. We will take our trusty speed square, and we're going gonna measure for square. Now, because I'm tall, I'm gonna measure up here, and then I can kick this in or out as I need to, which is right about there. Send this one home. And then we'll go over and do it over here on the other side. There we go. And that's that. Alright, they are a little wobbly, so I do think getting some 2x4 in here, maybe some 45 gussets or something, scab some plywood on, do something, might help that. Not only might, it will help it, because triangles are inherently strong. Let's go out and see what they look like when they're finished. There, how about that? So there, just like that, we got ourselves a stand. If it works out, I should be able to get 5 on each, and I'm gonna do 4 of them, so that will put 20 trees out for display. Hopefully that's enough for people to make a good decision in their pre-cut choosing. We still have our choosing cut to go out. So we're fast approaching the retail season. I've got almost all of my wholesale orders out. We sold close to 1,000 wholesale trees this year, which first time for me. I've never done wholesale in my life, and that was a really great learning experience. Got to use the baler, tree conveyor, had an 18-wheeler here yesterday, so that was a lot of fun, and it feels pretty good, you know. Even though it's kind of crummy out today, you know, I'd really rather feel bad in Maine than feel good anywhere else, and right now I'm feeling pretty good in Maine. So there you go, my friends. I'll see you soon.
Ah!